Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to an awesome video I have for you today, tonight, whenever you're watching this in the world, where we hit expert rank. And I think we were among the first few battlers in GBL to hit expert rank this season. I saw Jason hit it earlier today before me, and I haven't seen anyone else that's hit it. So I'm sure there could definitely be some, but I think we're in that first sort of wave of people to hit expert, which is pretty cool. And it left me with a dilemma, sort of. Dilemma is a word that's often misused because it's two choices between bad things. These are not necessarily bad things, these are good things. But it left us with a difficult decision, I should say, between posting in order. Like, I have a ton of videos I have planned from rank 14 all the way to veteran rank. But also, I kind of wanted to get out this hitting expert video as soon as possible. So we're going to do it. And the team is Alolan Ninetales, Shadow Swampert, and Trevenant. And honestly, dude, I have gotten the most successful runs in Go Battle League when I literally am like analyzing, okay, like what am I seeing a lot of? And I just come up with a team that I think does well against them. So we were seeing a ton of Noctowl in the lead, a fair amount of Medicham. We were seeing a lot of like Victory Bell in the lead with, Bastiodon in the back. So we just came up with this line to try and counter a lot of what we've been seeing. You're going to see we get quite a few good leads and quite a few good team comps in this video. A few bad team comps that we're able to overcome, but we end up going on a massive winning streak. Not necessarily like all consecutively streak, but we end up winning like 19 games in our 25 battles. And I've got 15 of them here for you today. So as you saw, we led against the Medicham. We saw the swap into G-Fisk, which I think put our opponent in a bad spot because it allowed me to hard counter the G-Fisk with Swampert. He does get a big farm down here. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I'm probably going to save my shield for Trevenant because I think it could be double steal with potentially a Bastiodon in the back. He gets the debuff. He catches my Weather Ball. Really nicely done to catch the Weather Ball. However, this will do a little bit of chip at least, and up a shield, our Trevenant should be able to handle Bastiodon. We just got to focus on our move timing, make sure we're not giving him any extra fast moves for no reason. Going to shield the Flamethrower, of course. Go for a Shadow Ball. This will chunk. And then I just want to overfarm as much as possible to give myself some energy to threaten that Medicham when it comes back in. So I overfarm here quite a bit. And I think I'm only one Shadow Claw off the Seed Bomb. So Medicham, unless it had an Ice Punch loaded, we were good to go, and we're able to knock it out with the Trevenant and get the win. And yeah, if you guys want to try out this team in the Go Battle League, I highly recommend it. If you're wondering, Rise, what if I only have a normal Swampert? Yeah, normal Swampert is good too. I like the Shadow just because I think it's I like both of them, to be honest. In like tournaments, I typically run the normal version of Swampert because it's bulkier, can get off more Hydro Cannons typically. But Shadow Swampert is really good, like up shields or up energy. We get a terrific lead here against Andy Copey. He swaps in Coffin. I meet it with Swampert, which I don't know if this is the right play. Perhaps Trevenant is the better swap here. But we land the Hydro. And he actually lets me get off another Hydro here on CMP, which makes me question whether I want to even shield this or not. I'm up a shield, but I figure, you know, even if I go down shields, like if I can get A9 lined up with Altaria, I should be in a pretty good spot. So I'm actually going to double shield here, and I know I should be able to Mudshot down, and I get the Mudshot down on Cofagrigus. We've got a couple Hydro Cannons ready to threaten the Altaria. Of course, Altaria, a bulky dragon. Bulky Dragon Flyer, going to tank these Hydro Cannons fairly easily. But some valuable chip, and I'm just a little bit concerned of what could be in the back, and it is a Registeel. If it had been a G-Fisk, I think we would have been in some trouble. But Registeel, we're able to tank a move quite easily, and I should be able to outpace here to 2 Shadow Balls. I was not the quickest on the swap, but fairly quick. Which will allow me to get to 2 before he gets to 2. And even if this doesn't KO, it should put it low enough where Ninetales can close out this game. Shadow Ball lands, and that's definitely Weather Ball range. So even if this knocks us out, Ninetales will be able to maybe even farm down. He goes for a Focus Blast and like a Lock On Down. We get sniped by the Altaria, but just a tough team count for our opponent, to be honest. As long as we kept Switch, we were going to win that game. A9 versus Noctowl. The most common lead I've been seeing lately, Noctowl. And we catch another good lead. Powder Snow, A9. And check out this dude. Okay, maybe it wasn't this game. I throw weather, but people at this Elo dude are just reading me like a book. I'm throwing at the most random times, and they're catching weather balls like it's their morning, like their day job. They land the Sky Attack. They catch my weather ball at the most random possible time on their Lanturn. So I'm going to swap in Trevor, as I like to call him. I just throw a Seed Bomb right away. Here's something that I see when I do coaching sessions. I'll hear newer battlers ask, like, Rise, like, why not overfarm a bunch on the Lanturn? Well, I know my Seed Bomb doesn't KO anyway, right? So in my opinion, there's not really much of a reason to overfarm. Like, this allows me to gauge that I can shield once and then farm all the way down. I come out with double Seed Bomb here. That Noctowl has energy. I think this was the crazy game. I go for a Seed Bomb here. And check this out. They store the Sky Attack and they catch my Seed Bomb on their own Trevenant. And I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is so bad. This is so bad. So I go for a Weather Ball here to get a shield. I swap because I don't want to risk the Trev farming me down. Perhaps that was a mistake. Perhaps I should have forced the Trev to throw a Seed Bomb at A9 and then put it all on Swampert. Maybe that was the better play there. I go for a Hydro Cannon here. I have to shield, obviously. I know he's going to catch on his Noctowl. The problem is, if I don't throw, he can combo play and land a Shadow Ball on me, which would knock me out. So I am kind of forced to throw. And then he's going to outpace me here. Wins CMP, the perfect overfarm. And now it comes down, does he have enough residual energy to outpace my Ninetales? I'm 4 away, and he outpaces my Ninetales. One of those games you just have to tip the cap to the opponent. They played it absolutely perfectly. They made 2 catches at just completely insane times that like were not necessarily like logical times, just random feel type catches. And I don't think I played that game bad per se. I think I just got completely outplayed. The opponent made some insane reads. They were in my head, and they pulled off a win with a pretty tough team comp disadvantage, right? So yeah, just an insane win by the opponent. Those are the games that you should be proud of. If you're the opponent, if roles were reversed, I would have been proud of that win, because just a masterclass from whoever that trainer was. We grab we use a shield, and we're gonna farm all the way down here. We got lots of energy. Should have done 1 Shadow Claw here and then thrown. This is a little bit awkward since we're down a shield, but we do have switch advantage. What concerns me is down a shield, our Ninetales' matchup isn't going to be the best. And then he snipes me with the Trev. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw a Weather Ball, get a shield off him. And then I'm just going to sack my Ninetales. I'm just going to sack my Ninetales, force him to use his energy. And he actually baits me with Seed Bomb. So I go for a Weather Ball here again. I was debating whether to just swap here instantly, since it's in Hydro range now. But I decided, you know what, I'll just sack A9. I'll just stay in, force him to throw energy. And then I come in with Swampert. Gonna shield this, of course. We should outpace to the Hydro here. I am aware that his switch timer is up to catch. So you see me pause for a split second. And then we're just going to double up on the Hydro Cannon, knock out Bastiodon, and then we'll have one ready to go for opposing Trevor. And despite being a grass type, Hydro Cannon is just such a busted move. Bang. Refreshing. Watering the plant. And getting the win there. I didn't give my usual spiel this video. It's a longer video, so feel free to sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. Next battle. Going up against King. Not that King, but a different King. Another Noctowl, dude. Was this like the third Noctowl we've seen? Super common lead for me, which makes sense. And another catch, dude, at the most random time. 6. The other person caught at like 9. This guy caught at 6. Ugh, gosh. They have a camera in my room. There's that Rise sign is probably like some sort of camera to the dark web. But they're spying on me. Just kidding. I go for a Gleam here. I think I went over 100 energy, so a bit of a misplay. He shields it. I decide to catch here on my Swampert because I kind of want to save my A9 for that Noctowl. And I actually make a really nice read here, so I'm going to shield this, and I know his switch timer is up, and the Noctowl could combo play, so I actually throw my Hydro, anticipating the combo play. And this way I actually get off my Hydro here without having to commit a shield, which is pretty nice. Pretty nice for me. Not sure if that was an undercharge or if that just didn't quite KO. Gonna overfarm here so I have residual energy for the Umbreon. Expecting him to let this go. He does. And what's going to come in? It's a Medicham. I go for the Dazzling Gleam here. I wasn't sure about this play. I thought this was a pretty obvious shield, but he lets it go. We hard swap into Trev. His switch timer is up. And this is really awkward, man. That Medi is low. But it's like, where the heck do I use my shield? Like, if I shield this, he can just shield and take me out. So I decide to shield the last second. And then I go for the extra. He actually gives me a free Shadow Claw. He gives me a free Shadow Claw. And as you see, I do 2 and throw, hoping he lets this go. And now, is there any way my A9 can outpace? What is this going to be? Is this an Ice Punch? Ice Punch should KO. But it's a power-up punch. And we live. And we simul KO for a tie. So, quick instant replay. The reason I didn't throw on like proper timing here, I shield this. The reason I didn't throw on proper timing is because I knew I'd get like outpaced. So I actually get a free Shadow Claw here, which is going to allow me to potentially get off 2 Seed Bombs. And then I could have theoretically thrown after 1 for proper timing. But the thing is, the way the game works, even if I throw after 1, his next Snarl should knock me out before my next one. So I was thinking maybe the only way I win is if I do 2 and throw, and like the Seed Bomb KOs through the shield, or he lets it go for whatever reason. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But as you see, his Umbreon must have had just slightly more than 1 HP. Yeah, easily like 2, 3 HP. And it ends up being a very close tie. So a pretty crazy game there. I'm sure there was probably a win con somewhere. Felt like sometimes you have that feeling, right? Like you have a really close game and you're like, ugh. Like I definitely had a win con somewhere. I mean, him catching the Weather Ball on Umbreon at the beginning was definitely one thing. Him shielding the Dazzling Gleam I could have baited. So just a lot of calls, a lot of decisions went into that game, where if I made some different decisions, I could have won. But credit to the opponent, man. Credit to the opponent for dancing around really well after a tough lead. Probably like, Rise, like, of course you won 19 games out of 25. You're getting all the positive leads. Well, I think it's a combination. I think we got a lot of good leads, and also made some nice plays. Opponents also made some really nice plays. So we're in a bit of an awkward lead here. And once again, is this the 3rd game in a row they've caught a Weather Ball on me? Like, what the heck, dude? At least this is going to allow us to line up our Trev on the Azu. Gonna throw after 7 here for proper timing. And I will respect an Ice Beam here. Oh, no, I won't. Oh, and it's a Play Rough. Nice. Even better. Going to go for another Seed Bomb here. Seed Bomb takes out Azu, and in comes a Noctowl. And I don't want my Trev to get just Wing Attack down, so I actually aggressively swap out of here and throw the Weather Ball with my A9. Because I know my Swampert is like pretty neutral against the 2 mons he has remaining. So he's going to land a Sky Attack here. He comes in with Sableye. At this point, I'm just going to let it go because I know that the Sableye is in Hydro Cannon range. And I know that Noctowl is probably in like Hydro plus Seed Bomb range. And I'm pretty sure my Trev will reach a Seed Bomb against the Noctowl. So I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Sableye does have residual energy, which is kind of scary. So at this time, past Rise was aware of how much energy the Sableye had. Opponent makes the catch on the Noctowl, but I was okay with this in the moment because I knew the Noctowl didn't have much energy, so I knew I could overfarm myself and just double up here, and I'm still okay. So opponent made 2 fantastic catches, but it wasn't quite enough for them to win. And we get a nice little dub here. Hydro Cannon knocking out the Sabe. And that's one benefit to Shadow Swampert over regular is like Shadow Swampert can 2-shot a Noctowl pretty easily. Hydro Cannon like almost, it doesn't 1-shot Sableye by any means, but it does enough where like eventually the Mud Shots will KO. So just that extra Hydro Cannon damage is really valuable on Shadow Swampert. The problem with Shadow Swampert is it really can't take a move. Like it needs, you kind of need to commit shields to it. Amazing lead against Dragonite. In comes Registeel, and you're going to see me play this pretty awkwardly. I go for the Hydro bait here, thinking I might grab a shield, and he calls it. And I'm like, you know, I don't really want to go down shields, knowing that there's a Dragonite that's probably just going to farm me down anyway. So I actually go for another Hydro. And I get to a 3rd Hydro. So Registeel can opt to double shield and actually flip switch. So the opponent does that. He double shields, but he goes down. He goes down 2 shields, but he does gain switch. I'm going to shield once back because I know 2 Zap Cannons essentially KOs Trev. So I'm going to be willing to shield once, farm down. I don't want to commit my 2nd shield here. And unfortunately, he does get a debuff. Lucky for me, he didn't get 2 debuffs. So Shadow Ball might not 1-shot anymore. Let's see how much it does to Dragonite. Bang, does a lot. And he comes in with G-Fisk, and I actually swap out. And the reason I swap my A9 into a G-Fisk is to clear my debuff on Trevenant. And Alolan Ninetales doesn't do that bad here. It's more of a soft loss than like a hard counter. Like if you guys decide to run this team and your A9 gets lined up against a G-Fisk, yeah, it's definitely more of a soft loss in my opinion than a hard loss. Because as you see, look at this. Our 2nd Weather Ball gets it to like less than 30% maybe. And our opponent attempts to undercharge so he can farm down. But I don't know if he realized we were only 2 Powder Snows away from the Weather Ball. And I'm just going to swap, get off the Seed Bomb just for safe measure. I think Shadow Claws would have been enough, but Seed Bomb for good measure. Plus, it's kind of funny to throw a double resisted Seed Bomb and get the win. Next battle. Here we go. We is Arson, terrific battler from Japan, I believe. Amazing lead. Lots of dragons, lots of flyers we're catching in the lead. In comes Frostlass. Don't have like a hard answer, but I figure Trev makes the most sense here. Gonna shield the Avalanche. Gonna overfarm quite a bit. Are they going to elect to shield here? Let's see. They do, so I'm going to throw back to back. And will they double shield? They will not. So they let it go. I assume Dragonair will come back. I did not think I would get to a Seed Bomb here, but look at this. Trevor holding his ground and getting off a Seed Bomb for some nice chip damage. I come in right away. Gonna tank what's likely a Body Slam here. And what's in back? It is a Lanturn with Water Gun. So a little bit awkward. Probably a bait-dependent matchup. So we're going to go for the bait here. And we actually get the shield. And at this point, he knew he was going to get outpaced. So he top lefts. The thing is with Shadow Swampert, like those mud shots also add up more than like a normal Swampert. So honestly, straight Hydro, like that matchup's probably pretty close. Or we might have been fine anyway. But yeah, it's kind of surprising how much mud shots can do to some things with that Shadow Swamp. Next battle. We're over halfway through the video. Time flies when you're having fun in the Go Battle League. Tough lead for A9, so we're going to safe swap Swampert, and we're met by a Sableye, and this is by no means a hard answer to Swampert. Swampert can flip this, I believe, in the 2-shield scenario, because eventually the mud shots will be enough. Eventually the mud shots will be enough after the Hydro Cannon lands to farm down. I think he might have been slightly slow. If he was a little faster, maybe he does win this in the 2 shields. But you're going to see me risk it for the biscuit here. Commit to the full farm down. Lanturn comes in. I'm going to go for EQ. And the reason was I didn't think I could bait and still get off an EQ. But check this out. I get to a Hydro after the EQ, so I could have baited and landed the EQ. That would have been so nasty. But we get Switch, and in comes Scrafty, and this is game over. We can simply Dazzling Gleam the Scrafty. I was telling chat at this point, like, is this overkill? Like, is this rude? Is it rude to Dazzling Gleam a Scrafty? But we get the win there. Just pretty simple, right? They didn't have a hard answer to Swampert, so we took Switch and we won the game. I'm not sure what he could have done. Maybe if he comes Scrafty into Swampert and just pups his way through us, that probably gives us a better chance. Once again, a good lead for A9. That Lanturn lead last game was like one of the first bad leads of the video. This is a pretty baitable opportunity for the opponent, and they do successfully bait me. They catch on the Lancer, dude. Opponent's just making me look silly in a sense. We are winning a lot of games, but they're catching like there's no tomorrow, dude. So many catches from the opposition. Seed Bomb lands, and I should be able to tank 2 Surfs and farm all the way down. And I really want to have energy for Abomasnow, knowing that it has a Weather Ball loaded. We tank the Surf. We're going to commit to the farm down here, and you're going to see we come out with 2 Seed Bombs stored, which is pretty nice. Because if Abomasnow is not aware of that, and they shield the first Seed Bomb, they're going to have to shield again. They want to get off their Weather Ball. It looks like a charge move priority here. We grabbed the shield, but it looks like it was actually the 1-turn lag, which does happen sometimes. We do grab both shields. I'm going to come in here with A9. I'm going to let this... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to shield. Interesting. I shield the Energy Ball. And I commit to a farm down here because I'm aware he can't get to another Energy Ball. So it's only a Weather Ball. And it works out for us because now we have this energy to Dazzling Gleam the Medicham, which it will not appreciate. Bang. And we swap in Swampert, who probably could have barely lived a Psychic, and land the Hydro Cannon. So opponent knew it was over. And that is a G to the G, man. That is a G to the G. I believe that was a 5-0 set. Yeah, look at that. 5-0 set. Let's see what Niantic gives us as the reward. Marini. You're just jealous of me. I don't know what you be. You know, say it. Say big things. Because you're a meanie. It's an Eminem song. I'm not going to say the actual lyrics. I don't know the exact lyrics word for word of that song, but I'm sure some of you guys know the reference. And we're on to the next set. I believe this is one last set for your viewing pleasure. And it's 2 Abomasnows in a row. But I'm not complaining about the algorithm. Because this is good for us. Abomasnow is a core breaker for our back line, though. So it's important that we see it here in the lead. I'm going to shield again. Opponents just making me look silly. Baiting me again. Going to go for a weather ball here. We grab a shield. Do I commit a shield again? I let it go. I get energy balled. He catches my weather ball. People are loving this Lanturn save swap, dude. People are loving this Lanturn save swap. And we're just playing this the same way. So, like, here's one thing worth noting, and I've mentioned this before in my videos, is a lot of people stress, like, catches. Like, they think if they catch, that's an amazing play to potentially, like, win the game. Yes and no. Catches can be very useful, I think more so in endgame scenarios. In the lead, right? Like, yes, he made a nice catch on his Lanturn. However, it allows me to line up my Trev on it quite easily. And now you see Trev with so much energy is just going to absolute town on the rest of his team. Theoretically, I mean, even if he doesn't catch right and he just lets Abomasnow go down, I guess it's not a huge difference anyway, because Trev would just sweep the back line anyway, probably. So maybe that isn't the best example in the world, but I think most of the time you'd rather get switch advantage than catch and give up switch advantage. Definitely depends on, like, the team you're running, the scenario of the game, but yeah, it's similar to, like, my basketball fans that watch. I had a coach Ozlickson in high school, that said, like, the blocked shot out of bounds is the most overrated play in basketball. And let's see what our opponent does here. He's gonna stay in, and the reason is particularly because we didn't have a shot. We don't have a shot clock in Wisconsin. I think they're trying to get one, but in high school basketball in Wisconsin, we don't have a shot clock, which, if you're unfamiliar with basketball, the shot clock is like how much time per possession a team has to shoot. So in the NBA, it's 24 seconds you have to shoot. Otherwise, you turn it over to the other team. But we have no shot clock in Wisconsin for high school basketball, so teams can run offense for as long as they want before shooting. So our coach said, like, if he would see other teams get, like, super hyped over a block shot out of bounds, and he's like, block shot is, like, literally the most overrated play in our sport, because the team just literally keeps possession. It's like nothing changes. They just get a chance to, like, set up and run another play. So that's kind of a little bit of an analogy to, like, catches. Catches can be nasty. Same thing with block shots. If you swat a shot out of bounds, it can be nasty. Sometimes it could be huge, especially if they had a good chance to score. Catches can be super effective. However, it's not like the end-all be-all. Sometimes you're probably better off just letting things go and taking switch advantage. Not always. It's definitely a situational type thing. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. We come up with Swampert here. I don't throw right away because I thought he was going to try and catch. In comes Medi. We're going to get this off, and I'm feeling pretty good here because, oh, he actually lets it go, and I actually just stay in now because our mud shots are going to KO. So he was in an awkward spot. He didn't know, like, where to use his shield, which makes sense. I think if he shielded Medi, he was probably in a decent spot, because I don't know if he gets one extra counter through, right, then Swampert probably goes down. He might have still had a chance. But also, A9 probably gets to a weather ball anyway and wins, so GG's. Another Shadow Dragonite. Comments are erupting. Rise, you had more favorable leads in this video than bad leads. Of course. You gained 200 plus elo in a day and went 19, 3 and 2. I know. But we're going to pretend it's still impressive. Okay? Gonna go for a Shadow Ball here to guarantee the knockout or to grab a shield. Seed Bomb probably wouldn't have quite KO'd there. In comes Dragonite. We get off a Shadow Ball, which is amazing because it kind of forces a shield off him. So not only do we retain switch advantage, but we also have a shield advantage now. Going to come in with A9. I am going to respect the superpower because I know it would do quite a bit. So I decide to shield here. And there is a Lickitung in back, which is a bit of a core breaker. I think it soft beats both of our Pokemon, but I'm hoping we can just tag team it here. I'm hoping we could just tag team it. Gonna go for a Hydro Cannon here. And Lickitung actually lets it go. And I was really debating whether I wanted to shield here. I decided last second, yep, I'm gonna shield. And it ends up being a Power Whip. So it's a good shield. And I probably should have overfarmed quite a bit more here. Probably should have overfarmed quite a bit more. But I kind of just wanted to get rid of the Lickitung, to be honest. Because I figured even if Dragonite farms me down, I don't think it can take out the A9. I think we live a superpower, and there's no way they live enough Powder Snow damage to get to 2 moves here. So a move coming through. Superpower does quite a bit, but Powder Snow does a lot as well. And we're going to knock out the Dragonite for another win. Sitting there just contemplating life. Just appreciating the day we had in the Go Battle League. Once again, I feel awkward. Like, I'm posting this video tonight, and then some of my next videos are going to be, like, from last week and stuff. So I apologize that it's a little bit out of order, but I thought it was kind of cool hitting Expert so quickly. So I wanted to get this video up. So we had a tough lead, right? We safe swap Swampert. We lure out Noctowl, which is good in a sense because our Trevenant's avoiding it. So that's good for us. We're going to go for another Hydro here, which threatens to knock out the Noctowl. Let's think about the counts for 6. So Noctowl is 665 in terms of fast moves to Sky Attack. So that would be 17 wing attacks. For Swampert, it's 545. So that would be 14 and then 4, so 19. So Swampert would need like a 2 Mudshot head start in order to win that matchup, I think. 2 or 3. So as long as Noctowl is just like fairly quick to react, it's not going to be able to win that matchup. We're able to get a huge farm. We take a move and we chip with a Weather Ball. Perhaps I should have thrown both Weather Balls here. I'm hoping it's like a Medicham and back. Something that our Trevenant can sweep. But as you're going to see here, I go for the Shadow Ball. And it doesn't quite KO. And he's going to get off another Rock Slide, which is pretty bad for me. In comes Lanturn. I'm really hoping that I can get to my next Seed Bomb. But our opponent wisely overfarms the most he can and throws the Surf to not take this Seed Bomb. And now Weather Ball isn't enough, so I have to commit to the Gleam. Our opponent gets off the Surf. Is this going to KO our A9? Are we going to go down? No, we barely live. We get off the Gleam. And now how healthy was that Galarian Stunfisk? Does a Powder Snow KO? It does, but a Mudshot does as well. And that's our second tie of the video. That's how crazy some of these battles were. So, yeah, tough lead for us, but we had like a neutral safe swap and then a positive matchup in the back. So a tie kind of makes sense. Based off of that team comp. I think maybe I could have like overfarmed with Trev, or I could have like double weather balled instead of single weather balled, then maybe Trev sweep. So definitely was some play there. This was super awkward. Because like I hard counter this Tox, but like I also don't really want to take it out because I know I just get wing attack down here. So this puts me in a super awkward position. Oh my gosh. Gonna go for a seed bomb here. And like I'm so concerned with all this energy from Noctowl. Like this is kind of brutal. At least though, what's good here is my Trev is gonna do enough chip damage to put this Noctowl into like Hydro Cannon range from Swampert. So I'm gonna come here with A9, assume that he's got like some sort of A9 counter in the back, and probably just tank 2 moves. He catches, of course he catches, because everyone catches on me. I go 1 pass that he still catches, dude. What the heck? But here we are able to lock in a good matchup, and I figured Earthquake might be like overkill because I can probably just go straight Hydro and eventually like Mud Shot down and come out of here with energy. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Hydro Cannon lands. He calls it like a savage. Gonna go for another Hydro Cannon here. And he's got an intriguing choice to make. And he just lets it go. He's gonna put it all on Noctowl. And I'm gonna let this go because I think my A9 is healthy enough where I can just save a shield and Powder Snows alone will probably be enough. Also, my A9's only like 3 away from a Weather Ball. So as long as this Noctowl doesn't get to 2 Sky Attacks here against my A9, I should be fine. I forced the last shield. I'm 1 away, and even a Sky Attack probably wouldn't quite knock me out. So we're able to get to the Weather Ball. I think a Shadow Ball may have knocked me out from there. Would have been real close. Don't think Sky Attack would have been quite enough. A9's kind of like medium bulky. It can take a hit. It's not the bulkiest mon in the world, but it can take a hit. And that is the end of the battles, folks. So on this day of Go Battle League, I'll skip ahead a little bit because I was talking to chat. We started the day at 25:39. We had hit veteran like the previous stream. We started the day at 25:39, and you're gonna see me claim my rank here in just a moment. And we finished the day going 19 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. Crazy, dude. So like if we don't talk about the draws, then we just went 19-3. 19-3, which is pretty insane. It's always fun to have such a good day in the Go Battle League. A lot went our way in terms of team composition, of course. We got a lot of great leads for sure, and we also made some nice plays, and we hit expert right on the dot. My screenshot was a little bit mistimed, but we get some nice clothing in game, and we cap off a nice day of GBL. Definitely our best GBL day in quite a while, at least that I can remember. I think we had a crazy 21-4 day last season, so not necessarily our best GBL day of all time, but certainly I would think in like the top 5, top 10 without a doubt. So I thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. All comments help the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're like, this guy's not that bad. He's not that annoying. I can tolerate him. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I very much hope to see you in the next one. Peace.